Hi YouTube, my name is Heather and I love anti-MLM content here on YouTube. I'm hoping to use this channel as an excuse to sit on the floor and talk about the predatory structure and practices of multi-level marketing companies. Usually it's with a specific focus on Beachbody, but I've fallen down a bit of an Eric Worre rabbit hole and I wanted to talk about another one of his videos. This is an old video from 2016 on his channel, but I still think it's very relevant today because a lot of the comments underneath have been from the past 1 to 3 years. It's also the most popular video on his channel with over 1 million views. So it's 5 steps to unlimited prospects. Let's take a listen.
Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Worre, and this week we're going to talk about 5 steps to unlimited prospects. I remember when I first got involved in the network marketing profession, I was so stressed out about asking myself the question every single day, do I know anybody? Do I know anybody? And since I was so young, just 22 years old, most of the people I knew didn't have any money. They were not really thinking entrepreneurially. They were thinking about trying to get to the weekend. And because of that, I made my little written list, and I went out to my list with a lot of anxiety and not much skill. And I started to drain the list. My best prospects said no, and I started to go down the list. And as my list got smaller and smaller, my anxiety got higher and higher.
Oftentimes in MLMs, when you first join, you're going to be told to make a list of 50 or 100 people that you can ask just based on which company you join. And this could be like your mom, your dad, your middle school teacher, your piano teacher, etc. And a lot of people say, well, I don't know 100 people. And the uplines will come back and say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And sure, I may know 100 people, but it's not going to be 100 people that I want to harass, that I think would be interested in joining whatever company I joined, that I think would actually like the products. They just want you to ask whoever you can so that you have a higher chance of building your downline and they make more money off of you and everything your recruits do.
You see, what I thought in network marketing was that the number of people you had on the list and the quality of those people that you had the day you joined, in other words, this database of relationships, that was going to determine your success or failure in network marketing. If you had a good list, a good group of people, good contact, good relationships, then you're going to have a huge business in network marketing. And if you didn't, or you lived in a small town, or you just you hadn't developed that skill yet, you weren't that social, maybe you're more introverted like me. If you didn't have that big list of contacts, then your chances were slim to none. And
That's very true. If you don't already have a big network of people, then your chances of success are significantly lower. Say you already have a couple thousand people following you on Instagram, or you're a hairdresser with a big client list, or you plan parties and you have a big client list, or you just have tons and tons of friends, you are at a significant advantage over people who might be more isolated and lonely and who are actually joining this MLM business for the purpose of finding friends. Not everyone has a huge network and has lots of people who are close to them and will join a business. And I think what he just said is completely true. If you don't have a big network of people, your chances of success are significantly lower.
What I've learned over the course of the last 28 years is that's not true. Successful people in network marketing look at finding prospects as a skill. Most of the people that they involve in their business, they met after they got involved in network marketing. As a matter of fact, ask your leadership, people who are high earners in your company, how many of the people that they personally have sponsored into their business, how many of them did they know prior to getting involved in the business, and how many did they meet after they got involved in the business? What you're going to see is the vast majority of those people involved and sponsored into network marketing were met after that person got involved with their company. In other words, their past list was not the key to their success. It was their skill move.
No, the key to their success was their ability to grow a large following on a social media platform and convince people they do or don't know to join their team.
Moving forward at developing their prospect list, developing relationships with those people that matter the most. So today I'm going to give you 5 steps so you have unlimited prospects, kind of a short course on never running out of people to talk to about your network marketing product or opportunity, okay? The first step on the list, which you may have already started, is to create what I like to call an active candidate list. This isn't just a list of 20 people you scrawl on the back of an envelope. This isn't 40 people that you write down on your legal pad. This is every single person you know or have ever met that you can ever remember, as if you're getting paid $1,000 a person for every person you were putting on the list. How many could you put on the list? And there's lots of strategies to jog your memory and to remember the people that you know and start there, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to empty our minds out on paper. As best we can. We're going to take it out of our mind and we're going to put it on.
He's telling us to think of every single person we've ever met and every single person we've known and add them to our potential prospects list. Please note that he's not saying who do you think has the correct characteristics to really excel, who do you think would enjoy the products. It's just who do you know, put them on this list. I think it shows that when MLM distributors say, I'm looking for a specific person with specific characteristics, that they're just looking for someone to fill a spot. They're looking for someone to fill out their team, and there's not really an interest in the specific characteristics. They want someone with, depending on where you are, social security number, and who is 18 and over, who has a pulse and a heartbeat, who is able to make the upline money.
Paper as best we can and as comprehensive as we can. And I've got a free resource for you today. I created it a few years back. It's called the Ultimate Memory Jogger. It's a workbook that I'm going to give you a link to download for free. And in that workbook, I give you some training on finding prospects. I give you some scripts on what to say when you talk to prospects. And I give you a huge list of categories to help jog your memory and think about the resources that you have and the people that you can add to your list, okay? The link for that is
I already downloaded this list, and I'm going to take a look and probably talk about it in a video in case you're interested.
networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. It's my gift to you. I hope you take advantage of it because it's really a great tool. You can download it, use that as a resource to start with step number 1, creating that active candidate list. And the reason why I call it active is step number 2 is to constantly expand your list. What do I mean by that? It's not just who you know today. It's who you're going to meet. It's who you're going to run into. It's who you're going to connect with. Constantly expand your list. Set yourself up to a discipline. And here's one of the best disciplines I can, as far as strategies I can give you. 2 a day. Every day, make sure you add at least 2 people.
Isn't that exhausting? So if you happen to meet a nice person at the coffee shop, instead of just enjoying the moment and connecting with a new person, you have to get their email, get some kind of contact information to add them to this massive list of potential prospects. You can't just enjoy meeting new people. You have to see everyone as a $, everyone as a member of your downline instead of just a human being that you want to connect with and get to know.
To your active candidate list. You might meet those people online. You might find those people from some social group. You might remember somebody. You might bump into somebody walking the dog. Somebody might give you great service at a restaurant, wherever it is. Friend them up, connect with them on Facebook, whatever. They don't have to be prospected the moment that you meet them. They just have to build a connection and start to build a relationship. So you can start to build trust, you can start to build belief, and then when the time is appropriate, you can share with them your product and your opportunity. So step number 2.
Remember, this is an old video, but in an earlier video I did, I talked about how MLM distributors are taught to, instead of just cold messaging, to form relationships with people first. And what he just said, develop trust, develop a relationship and a connection first. Then when the time is right, introduce the business opportunity or the products. I think this way is significantly more damaging than just the straightforward cold message, because this is way pre-COVID, but what if you're just lonely? What if you are quarantining at home and you just want someone to connect with, and someone actually shows an interest in you, who you are as a person and your goals and your aspirations, and then you talk to them, maybe you go out at a coffee shop for a socially distanced meetup, and then you find out that they've been viewing you as a business prospect this whole time and not as a person who might appreciate a new person to talk to. So I think he's making it seem like this is a better approach, but I think it's more harmful and more damaging in the long run. Let me know what you think about that.
Is to constantly expand your list. Okay. Step number 3 is to raise your awareness. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this: when you get out there in the world, a lot of times we run into so many people that could be incredible for our business, would be natural product users for our product or service, and we don't even see them. Our awareness is so shut down. Our social circle is so locked that we're not even aware that the person who gave us good service at the restaurant, we didn't even look them in the eye. We didn't even find out what their name was. You know, the person gave us great service selling us shoes. We didn't even say hello. We just barked some orders. We got our shoes and we left. We're constantly presented with opportunities to make a connection with other people in the world. And it's your job to raise your awareness, expand your mind, and get outside of your tiny little circle of 5 or 6 friends and your family members, and start to expand your awareness. It's really a key skill set. You see the top earners in network marketing, they're expanding their awareness. They're always looking for opportunities. It's not they're not predators. They're not handing out business cards at funerals, right? They're constantly raising their awareness to connect with another human being and build a relationship. And not even...
A lot of times in MLMs, they will give advice that on the surface seems very positive and common sense even. He's saying raise your awareness of the people around you and see them as humans and try to connect with them to expand your social circle, which is a positive thing, especially during COVID. Even before COVID, I've always kept my social circle small, just the few people that I connect with the most. So on the surface, this is a good thing. But he's, again, telling you to see the person who served you at the restaurant, the person who signed you in at the doctor's office as a potential recruit, as a potential prospect, instead of just as a human being. So that's where it becomes problematic. People who have already been pulled into their MLM will hear something like this and just take it at surface level and think it's a positive thing he's saying, but they don't know that by doing this, they are manipulating people. They are preying on people's vulnerabilities, their pain points, which I will go into in another video, specifically related to Beachbody, where they're insecure at, where they want improvements in their lives. And people are manipulated into companies. They're preying on others based on those people's own vulnerabilities, and the psycho manipulation just continues.
So much because they want to get that person to join their business because they collect friends. You know, they live a big life.
Sorry, and it's also funny how he said they're not predators. I think the fact that he has to clarify that top MLM leaders aren't predators should be a huge red flag. You don't have to be looking for people in a very obvious vulnerable situation to be a predator. I think you just have to show that you just have to mislead the person with your intentions, which is what he's telling us to do. He's telling us to pretend to care about someone as a way to bring them into your business, make yourself more money, and then make your upline more money.
Life. And as an introverted person, I've been an introverted person my whole life. As an introverted person, I have to remind myself to get out of my own head and to be a citizen of the world. I have to remind myself to raise my awareness that there are other people that I could easily make a connection with and hopefully help and serve in some way. So step number 3 is raise your awareness. So the first 3 steps so far: build an active candidate list, constantly expand that list, and raise your awareness. Now, step number 4 is another mental mindset. And that's as you are looking at the world, as you're building your list, as you're expanding it, as you're raising your awareness, don't ever prejudge. It's so easy for us to say, this person is not a candidate because they don't have any money. This person is not a candidate because they have too much money. They're too successful. This person's not a candidate because they're busy doing other things. This person wouldn't want the product because whatever reason you think. You don't know what's going on in another person's world. You just don't. You could have met people, and you could have talked to people already in the last 7 days that you have totally pushed outside of your circle of possibility of even being a prospect. And yet, they may be praying tonight, searching for an opportunity to be able to latch onto and sink their teeth into and go to work with. You don't know.
I don't have too much to say about this one other than this is a big thing Beachbody coaches like to talk about, where they saw someone on Facebook or Instagram that they're intimidated by and they're just afraid to ask, and then the person joins with another coach and then becomes hugely successful. And so I think that's, if you happen to be pulled into an MLM business, that is good advice, that if you think you could connect with that person, just to ask anyways, even if you're anxious or scared. However, I want to talk about this in a later video. If you're anxious or scared about reaching out to someone, there might be a reason for it, and you should trust your gut and your first instinct. That could be a sign that you are not comfortable with this kind of business, that reaching out to people on the internet is not part of your moral or ethical standards, and you should trust your gut, because there's a big difference between feeling anxious to start a brand new job with people you don't know and just true anxiety. So please trust your gut and listen to your anxiety if you happen to have it in any situation, but especially if you're reaching out to random people on the internet.
No, you don't know if that rich person is bored out of their mind. You don't know if that person who works in the corporate world is looking for a challenge. You don't know if a person who looks successful is stressing out about not being able to pay for one of their kids' college. You don't know what's going on. You can't see inside of the heart and mind of another person. You have to give them an opportunity. So it's really important that you never prejudge. I have a cousin, and
he's going to talk about a cousin who he wanted to ask, but he didn't. And we don't need to hear all of that, because he wanted to ask the cousin, he didn't, and then the cousin joined a different multi-level marketing company. So I'm just going to skip to the next one.
On purpose. Network on purpose. That means join some new groups, expand your horizons, join a networking group in your local community and serve people within that community and get to know people. Volunteer for charities and causes. You can't believe the number of people and influential, powerful people that you can meet by volunteering and helping raise money for charities, etc., working within your local community. If you have hobbies, expand those hobbies. Join some social groups. Join a new health club. Get out of your house.
If you're supposed to be working your MLM business constantly to make money and rank up, when are you going to have time to do all of this stuff? When are you going to have time to volunteer for a charity, join a club, join a networking group? Again, it seems on the surface, it seems like a really good idea as an introvert just to expand your social circle and do things that excite you and that make you feel happy and fulfilled. But I think for someone in a network marketing company who's down low in the pyramid, I don't think something like that's very realistic, because people recruit you with the promise of time freedom, and then once you're in, they tell you that to rank up and make money, you have to work all the time and you can't take breaks, you can't watch Netflix. So good idea on the surface, not realistic for the 99% of people who are on the bottom of the pyramid.
And get connected with your local community and meet the people there, connect with the people there. Network with the people there. You'll build friendships, you'll build relationships, and you will have natural ability to be able to talk to them about your product or opportunity. If you don't get out of your house, if you just sit there all day long, it's difficult to be a citizen of the world. Get out there and network on purpose. So what are our 5 strategies? Strategy number 1.
So we don't need to listen to him repeat the different steps. Something else I was just thinking about is how exhausting would it be to just be volunteering at a food bank, or you joined an intramural hockey team, and instead of just enjoying the activity, you have to constantly be looking for people who you could add to your active candidate list, which right there, step 1. So again, you can't just enjoy a volunteer experience. You have to constantly be thinking of people. You have to constantly be thinking of your bottom line and thinking of people as a monetary resource instead of a human being who just might want a connection, might want to feel like they're contributing to their community. So that's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, you can let me know below. Thank you.